And welcome back everyone to episode 17. And today, now that we've unlocked Mark II pipes, we can actually do something very special, which is harvest all of the oil here. I mean, all of it. And then after that, we're going to be working on the trains once again. I want to get this plastic back to the base. And the other thing that we need to bear in mind is we have to redo the bus ready. In fact, I want to work on the bus further, but all of this needs to be suitable for running a train, which might be a slight issue for us. Now, whilst we're on the way back to the base, we're going to be deleting these conveyors, which were originally transporting all the plastic back there, but now we're going to be replacing it with a two-way rail system. Looks pretty cool. Hopefully, it will work. We will find out. I think that's about right. Yes, yes, perfect. And then the same on this side. And we're gonna do this all the way back to our factory. So it might be a little bit time consuming. As you can see, we're back at base. And the important thing we've noticed is that for the trains, we're actually going to need to widen our bus. And I don't want to tear this down. That would be annoying at this stage. So what we'll do is expand this out to 2 foundations worth. But it's going to take us a while, so we'll probably end up doing this as a time-lapse. We've got the lines back to the factory. Unfortunately, I haven't planned where these are going, so I think for the time being, we're going to have to place them here, and then maybe eventually, seeing as the plan is to build a nexus for all our trains at the top, we might run it up there. We'll see. But for now, we need to pave this. Wow, we did a thing! Yes, we've now got some trains, well, a train up and functioning. And the great thing is, actually, there's something I've got to show you. Got me sniggering. If we disconnect this, there we go. Look, nay! It's just me that finds this funny. Nay, power! But that's besides the point. We need to keep serious, guys. We need to work hard here. We're going to head back along the track that we've just done, all the way back to the fuel generators. And this will eventually transport all of our materials from there back to here. In fact, it'll probably go to a nexus, like a station nexus, where all of our resources in our factory across the world go to, and then they get distributed to the factories that we need them. But for now, whilst it's still a starter factory and before we actually get properly working on the main factory, we'll just take it back. And you can see we've done this beautiful little line. It's only taken us like 5 hours. Whoa! What? No! Stop! Get back here, you tree! I just need to sort that out before I forget about it. I will forget about the tree. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. We need to get rid of it. Please just don't get rid of that one. Okay, if I move back, hopefully it won't get the tree behind it. Come on. Come on. No! Oh, I paid with my blood for that. Oh well. It's always the next tree. We're making progress. We now have a little hand-fed constructor moving some empty canisters over to these liquid packages, which we built last week. And now, thankfully, we're producing fuel, which means I can build a jetpack. And from that, I will be able to go and work on things that are like this, a little bit too high up for the humble pioneer. So the next thing that we need to do, now that we've got some fuel being produced, is go and grab a jetpack. Oh, would you look at this? I have now got a jetpack, which means we can actually work on this. But the first thing that we need to do is set the output down here. So we're going to grab one of these conveyor poles and just see roughly, hopefully, that will be enough. If we move that there, we can now place the elevator so that it comes out from there and then across from here. This is the moment we've all been waiting for, where it won't actually be in position. I don't think it is as well. I think we got it wrong. No, it's straight! It's straight! We did it! Fantastic! Oh, and there we go. That's going to go down, and then we'll curve it around and put it into one of these. Now that we have our train station connected, we've actually got a load of ports still. Wait, what's going on here? Oh, we've not connected it up, of course. So, on that note, we still need to connect that line up. But now that that's sorted, more or less, what we can work on is this section here. So this is what's producing all of the plastic for us. And I want to be able to flip a switch, that's even better grammar there. Flip a switch back at base so that these through to there, those refineries just turn off and stop producing plastic. And then all the excess resources will head over to another refinery section where it will be producing rubber, for example. So that's the next thing that we need to work on, as well as getting the rest of the pumps pumping crude oil into this. We've been working hard. Actually, we worked out we worked too hard because we had one too many refineries along here, which I had no idea about. But what we've also done is remove that, and then we also changed this to a Mark II pipe. We're going to need to get more oil in here. This needs to be transporting in total 600, and currently we're totaling 480 in that pipe. So either I'm going to overclock these pumps, which would be a good idea really in the long run, or I'll grab it from another pump over there. So I've managed to place down these 7 extractors. Now one of these needs to be, this one I think will be at 50%. We've also got a water extractor. So we're going to be pulling this across. We'll remove these little supports afterwards. But for now, the important thing is we get them in line. And then from here, we're going to be adding some junctions. And then taking the water up into there. Perfect. Do the same across all of these, and then we'll be ready to bring the what is it? Polymer resin, right? Yeah, bring the polymer resin somehow around here. You're probably wondering what we're doing here. Now, I thought it would be a great idea to run a separate network from my factory all the way to the oil refinery. So we're doing a separate network, a separate circuit all the way back there at the moment. But what this will allow me to do, which I will show you once it's done, is allow me to turn on and off a given part of this refinery according to my needs. And if I turn that part of the factory off, another part of the factory will start running. This is combining the smart splitters, or the cunningest splitter, alongside a separate circuit switch. So, once we get this done, still got a way to go, I'll show you how it works. As you can see, at the moment we have rubber being produced. If we look over here though, we can see why. So we have all of our resin running across to this splitter, and then this overflow splitter is overflowing all the excess resin to our oil refinery. This one to be precise, which as you can see is now using the resin recipe to produce this rubber. Now you're probably wondering, actually you're probably not, but I'm gonna tell you anyway, why this factory is not producing any plastic. Well, it's because the power's off. And that's because if we look over here, we can see that all of these are connected to a separate circuit, which is running all the way over to here, and all the way over to there. And if we click on it, you'll notice there's no power. But when we go back to our factory, all the way over there, oh, I left my train at the other factory. We're gonna have to run back. We made it back to the factory, and as you can see, we have this little thing here that says plastic on, rubber, and then rubber's supposed to be off. But you can see the power switch is off at the moment, which means we're currently producing rubber at the factory. But if I want to be running plastic because we have computers being produced, I can switch this on. And now, if we go all the way back to our refinery, this area is being used. It's no longer fully saturated, which means no resources are going up through here. So whilst the factory is slowly using up all of the excess resin, we'll still have some rubber being produced. But after, it will just be plastic. There you go. Quite clever if you ask me. It's not that clever, but it works. Now that you've seen that in action, we are back at our main factory, and I've got a feeling that this could actually make a really nice control tower for our factory. Now this is just the starter factory, so I'm not worried too much about it, but just imagine if we had a little circular thing up here. Brings the circles back into, oh, we so could, with the wires like going outwards to the various areas. That's so cool. Okay, we're gonna do that.
I strongly advise you to harvest.
I know, Ada! You strongly advised me to build this this control station. Absolutely agree with you this once, thank you. Welcome, we are back at the factory, and you've probably noticed that we removed the switch, and that's because we had an overwhelming vote for building an observation tower here, which connects all of the networks in one place so that we can then switch them off and on from this tower. It's gonna be cool, but we need to do a time lapse, and it's dark, so we're not gonna do it now. So we'll be back when it's daytime. And it's daytime, which means we can get started on this. Now we're going to do a quick circle build. So for those of you who've not seen us do this before, it's a case of building outwards in a cross, having jumped on a wire. You can actually do this with a better technique, but I'm not too bothered. I don't have time for that. So what we're going to do is, once we've done the outer cross, delete this, like so. And then, turn the foundation again, and then repeat. Rinse and repeat. And there you go, we have our complete little circular build. Obviously it's not perfect, we actually need to build outwards, but I want to go up first. So that's a little bit higher and looking down over the factory. Well, it would seem that we've built a little observation tower. We're currently working out what we want to call it in chat. Spaghetti tower. Jonah, no! But it's coming along nicely, and the idea is that we will bring a main power cable up through here. That will connect to all of our power plants, and then we will have, in this section, all of these switches showing the various sections. So for example, if we want the, whatever the line this is, I think that's rods over there. If we want rods turned on, we'd flick the switch and we'd see all the lights over there turn on. And we can do this all from this tower. And there we have it! It has been named, although it's not quite finished, the Power Tower! Or the power tower that's not currently powered. But I'm liking it. I did a thing! Yes, we've been working on the power tower, and as you can see, it's It's a creative mess of cables here, and it's only going to get worse. So all of these cables run to this single power cable, which is where all the main power will be. All the power from the oil refineries will go through this and connect to all the individual machines. And you can see how these kind of branch out. So if we go along this one, you can see it branches out to 2 more, and then it goes down to 3 more. And then to the individual machines. This one doesn't have anything yet. But here we have the reinforced iron plates and the modular frames. And the idea is that when we want, we can turn this on or turn it off by flicking this switch. And looking down there, you'll see the reinforced iron plate section light up or light off when we're using it or not using it. So we've been working on the factory, and what I wanted to do was to have a little light here showing, but unfortunately it's just far too tall. So the only way we can do it is if we build down and then clip through, which at the moment I'm not too keen on. And the idea was to have a red light followed by a green one that's more powerful when it turns on. But these are far too big. Far too big. Why don't we have like a little like wall-mounted light or ceiling light that's smaller than this, smaller than a foundation and a half? But we've managed to work something out. And if we go over here, the only way I've done it is by lifting this up, which I'm not really too keen on doing because it's taken so much work to do this. But if we do, you can see here, currently the reinforced iron plates are off. And so we have a red light shining down. And that's done by having this light on at 10% intensity. When we go down here, you can see all of these are off. However, when we turn this on, you'll see once again down here that the lights turn on, both green and are lit up. But also here, we use a second light in front, which is on 30% intensity, as green. And so that we know that this particular section of the factory is now on. So it's pretty cool, but I think we need different light stands, to be honest. And as you can see, we've got one foundation out. That's obviously for trial and error and trying to work something out. And we also sorted out the first power cable, which is a lot of work. You can see it goes down from here over to this power cable, through the floor, then all the way through here, over to there, where it turns it on. And we can see here that that assembler is actually turned off. We also sorted out the train, so we can now take this back to our fuel plant. It's fully done, it's up and running. We just haven't switched it on yet. Of course, we also laid the track. Of course, we also laid the track for all of this as well, which is looking pretty fine, in my opinion. We also made sure that we've got all these fuel generators running as well. And over the other side, we sorted out a sorted out a switch system for this so that we can turn the plastic or the rubber off as and when we want. And all of that is now being sent over to the train station or the awesome sink. So we've actually done a huge amount. But that's all we have time for in this one, guys. So thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please do drop a thumbs up. And obviously, don't forget to subscribe or follow us on Twitch, like Sirish just has. Thank you so much, man. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. And thank you to all of our amazing supporters. Most notably, our Solar Eclipse patrons, The Calamity, Cerebral Tag, and Trebor. As well as our Lunar Eclipse patrons, Matt Lippard, Chris McCabe, and Lord of July, as well as our Blood Moon of the day, which today is Wreck-It Ralph. Anyway, guys, until next time, ciao for now.